guys. Welcome back to the channel. So I have a quick video for you guys today. I have been promising to do a winter layering video and I haven't done that yet. So I got a quick couple minutes to take a little rip today on my snowmobile and figured I would take a few seconds to film what I normally wear when I go out winter camping and talk a little bit about how I stay warm. So I hope you guys will enjoy this video. And yeah, thanks for joining me. Okay, apparently it's a little bit too cold today. My camera just bugged out for like no reason. First things first, let's talk about hats, toques. I like, for anything, basically anything I like to wear, other than my pants really, is either wool or down. And like anything base layer, so under my pants. If you can get your hands on some wool materials, that's hands down the warmest material. It retains its heat even if it gets wet. So that's a really important thing to know when you're trying to layer up for staying warm outside. When I go out on a camping trip, and if I know it's not going to go down colder than, let's say, -5, I'll just bring like a beanie. And this one is by Fjallraven, which doesn't really matter, but any kind of beanie will work. But if, like I said, if you can get your hands on a wool one, which this one is, this is a merino wool, then it's even a little bit better. And I always sleep with my beanie on to retain the heat, because as we all know, you lose a lot of heat from your head. So a nice beanie, if I know it's not going to be colder than -5. If I know it's going to be colder than -5, I'll bring this guy. I love this trapper style toque. I don't think the fur is real, but that doesn't really matter. It's insulated and extremely warm, covers your ears, and you can also clip it together to be a little bit warmer. And if you get too warm, you can put it like Russian style, like that. So that's basically all the toques and stuff I will bring. Aside from that, like you're bringing, if it's any colder than like -20, you're probably getting into wearing like a balaclava, which basically is like a toque necky all-in-one situation, goes all over your face and keeps you pretty warm. Next up, we'll talk about gloves. So if I know it's not going to be colder than, let's say, -5, I'll bring these mitts. These are my favorite mitts on the planet. They are made of bison leather. The couple who makes these mitts, I always leave their link in the description below of all the videos where I use these. Basically, it's a bison leather mitt with a gauntlet style, so it protects my sleeve and stuff when I'm working with the fire. And on the inside, there's like a felt liner, and it has fingers on the inside. So anyways, I love these mitts. They're extremely comfortable. Super nice for working with the fire and stuff like that, and definitely warm enough as long as it's not going down colder than like -5. After that, if I'm doing something where I know it's going to be really cold, then I start layering my mitts. So I'll grab like just a crappy pair of these gloves. I would really love to get a pair of gloves like this that would be wool. I think that would be a lot warmer, but just these crappy little gloves that you can buy anywhere. And I'll put those under these crappy mitts. I know they look like super warm and whatever, but basically this is just a split leather mitt with like a synthetic type of Sherpa material on the inside. And basically they're very cheap, but they do the trick. And for layering, they're awesome. And I always snowmobile in these because I'm not afraid of ruining them. I literally got these at Giant Tiger for like 10 bucks. So just a split leather mitt. What makes them warm is that you can layer up in them because they're like 10 sizes too big. And that's pretty much my go-to for when I know I'm doing really, really cold weather. Any colder than like -20, where this system doesn't work, then you're getting into getting more of like a military surplus type mitt. Something really thick and heavy and heavily insulated. And there's also, as long as you're not handling anything too much, there's also down mitts out there that you can get, and those would be pretty warm as well. But these are my go-tos for staying warm, and I just layer as needed. And you can get thicker gloves like this to get inside as well to make it even a little bit warmer. So that's mitts and hats, and I always wear a buff. So this one is nothing special. It's just like a synthetic material, and it's got a fleece type of material on the bottom of it. Any kind of buff will do you, as long as it can cover your face and cover your neck and keep kind of the air and the wind and the snow out of your neck area. That'll keep you extremely warm. It's like my favorite go-to trick for staying warm out here. Always having something around my neck. I feel cold if I don't have something around my neck, so I really like having that. And bonus for snowmobiling, keeps you super warm. Okay, next up. Let's talk about layers. Closest to my skin, I have a merino wool base layer. This one is made by Fjallraven. Doesn't have to be made by Fjallraven. I kind of went on a splurge recently. I really like Fjallraven. Not sponsored or anything, I just love their gear. Synthetic base layers and stuff work too. I just find they get smelly, and I just don't find anything works better than wool. But they do the trick. They do wick the sweat away from you, which is what you need in a base layer, and they will keep you warm. As for my mid layer, again, I'm going with a wool sweater. You can also use fleece in the place of this mid layer. So that's what I used to do before I started getting into wool stuff. I had some nice fleece sweaters, and you can get those absolutely anywhere. So you can start with your base layer closest to your skin, and then after that you can have like a thinner fleece sweater of some sort, and then over the top of that, if it's getting quite cold, you can put an even thicker fleece on top of that, and then that should keep you pretty warm as far as mid layers go. But yeah, layering is very important. You want to have a couple different layers so that you have the air pockets between those layers as insulation to keep you warm. So this layer, and my favorite material, is wool, and it's pretty thick, and I really like it. Keeps me super warm. And as a bonus, wool is pretty fire retardant as well. So, and then we're going with the outer layer. On a day where it's not raining and it's not snowing too much, those days where it's just kind of cold and dry, a down puffy jacket is the way to go, hands down. Any kind of down jacket you can get your hands on, as long as it's real down. There are some synthetic downs out there that do really well too. I've never tried them myself, so I can't really endorse them, but I know a lot of people who have tried them, and they say that they're really good as well. So any kind of like down or alternative down puffy jacket is super warm, and that's kind of my go-to personally. I also have an alternative insulation jacket that I use that you've seen me use in my -20 video. Basically any jacket will do, as long as you can layer as much as possible. Basically, as far as winter camping goes and staying warm, as long as you're following the basics, you can manage to stay pretty warm no matter what kind of material they are. The important thing is you want a base layer that wicks sweat away from your body. You want a mid layer that can also breathe that sweat further out away from your body. That being fleece, wool, whatever. And then your outer layer is your warm layer. And then if it's kind of the colder it gets, I just throw some more layers on underneath. And that's basically how I keep warm. And then when you start to get warm, you take off a layer, you take off another layer, and that's how you can kind of regulate yourself out here, because when you're cutting firewood, you're getting really warm, but as soon as you stop to sit around camp, you're starting to get really cold, so then you got to put all your layers back on. So that's kind of my system for layering. As far as pants go, I always wear my Fjallraven Keb trousers. A lot of people ask about these, so that's what they are. They're like stretchy material up here, and this G1000 material here that I treat with wax to help repel water and dirt and all that kind of stuff. And then under there, I have a base layer as well. So important to have the base layer on your bottoms as well, depending on how cold it is, but the colder it is, the more you layer. And then on top of these, if it gets really, really cold, I will keep these two layers as well as put some snow pants on. And then usually that's pretty much all you need. Now boots. For boots, I just got these awesome Baffin boots. I forget the model, but I'll put it up on the screen. They're leather, and then down here you've got all the rubber and a very thick sole with really good grip. I absolutely love these boots. They are enormous and not great for walking. So if I'm doing like a hike in or something, I'll put on my hike scouts, which you guys have seen me wear all the time. But if I'm not moving, or if I know I'm doing a trip, let's say on the snowmobile or somewhere where I know I'm not hiking in a long ways or anything like that, I will wear these baffins because they're super warm. Winter is a very long season, especially here in Canada, so the more you can do to help yourself enjoy it, the better it is. As soon as I used to always be cold. Every time I'd go out, I always felt cold, and I found it really hard to enjoy winter unless I was really moving or doing something. But hopefully with these tips, if any of you find yourself doing that, maybe you can help mitigate it now. Make sure you're layering up properly so that you can get out and actually enjoy the winter, because it is an absolutely beautiful season and there's no bugs, which is the best. Sorry this was a bit of a quick video for you today. I hope I went into enough detail, but if you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Yeah, stick with me for the ride back, because I gotta get going real bad. If you guys have another topic you'd like me to talk about on the channel, another quick video like this, please leave that in a comment down below too. If you have any questions or anything like that, shoot me a comment down below and let me know what you guys think. And let me know what you want to see. I know I usually do like trips and stuff, but I'm thinking I should do a few more of these videos here and there to give you guys a good idea of how I get out here and the things that I bring. And I know lots of you like to talk about gear as well, so let me know what you want to see, guys, and I'll do my best to oblige you and get those videos out. So thank you again so much for watching. Stick with me for the snowmobile ride out if you'd like, and yeah, I'll hopefully see you in a video next week. Thanks very much. Bye!